Hello, everyone. Thanks for joining us. My name is Dalton Shetler with the Spartan Sports Network, next to 2000 national champion A.J. Granger. A.J., we talked with you last year, and we were celebrating on the exact day, 19 years later, and you said, well, this is kind of silly. Wouldn't you just wait till 20? So now, hey, we got you again for 20. Is it maybe a little bit better now that you're a full decade past?
Maybe. Now I'll say it's a little awkward that we're maybe not waiting until a silver at 25 or something, but no, it's always nice to be able to get back and spend time with guys that you don't see all the time. I mean, with technology, you can stay in touch with text and things like that, but it's nice to be able to get back and see everybody in person.
Well, and what was it like this morning? Because you guys had the breakfast here, you guys got to meet and have a little bit of a reunion. What's it like seeing everybody's face again and sharing the same jokes, the same stories, and everything else?
A little more low-key than maybe 10 years ago or 15 years ago, but it's nice to catch up. We had Andre Hudson's bowling event last night with his foundation, and that was nice. There was a lot of guys that were able to attend that, but being here and just kind of catching up, seeing where everybody's at, what they're doing, what they're working, how many kids they got, what everybody – I think the consensus is if you have kids and they're of a certain age that your life is now their life. So spend a lot of time getting them where they need to go and that type of stuff. So fun though. I mean, I learned a lot of things that I didn't know about guys just because I haven't talked to them so long. So it was nice to catch up.
Real quick, before we talk a little bit about the basketball team and reflecting, who's the best bowler? You had the bowling event last night.
We were floating. There was no consistency going on, and they kept messing it up because they do sit down and bowl, throw with your left hand and bowl. So I was throwing them pretty straight last night, so okay. I can't complain.
Good enough.
Yeah.
And AJ, we talk about that 2000 national championship team, the moment, the team that brings you guys all back here. As you think back on that season, and you were a captain of that basketball team, A, how much weight does that carry in your memory when you remember that group? Because, I mean, you were one of the leaders. And B, is there a great moment or a moment that kind of turned the tide for that season?
I don't know about a moment. I mean, we had some adversity that we had to work through earlier in the year with some injuries and things of that nature. I would say the thing I always tell people probably the most is we were a very close-knit team. I think I even said it last night. Somebody was talking about success of teams and why things weren't working for them, and we got on the topic of camaraderie and being able to play together and understanding who you're playing with, and I think that's really what made us who we were. Is we were a team that was very close-knit. We knew what we could count on. I mean, the game has changed so much. It's not like the game we played. There was a lot of preset plays, screening, pick and pops, double screens to get guys open, and I'd say when we played, we knew what each of our skill sets was. Teams today rely on maybe one or two guys. At any given night, you'd shut down one or two of our guys, and another two or three would step up. And it was really what made us dangerous. Sometimes that wasn't clicking, and we had some losses that some people could probably laugh at. But at the same time, when it was clicking, or for most of the time when it was, I mean, we had a lot of success there. And I think it was just because we knew what we could get out of each other and count on each other for. I remember. We had certain dedicated plays that, like Mateen would pick for me, and we'd be in a timeout, and Coach Izzo would call the play and say, Mateen, we're going to run the play, and it was just a quick screen down. I'd pop out and shoot, and Mateen would look at me and be like, nail it, and you got it, I mean, it was like I could pick for Morris Peterson and be like, I'm getting you open, shoot the ball, right? And he knew that he was going to have to shoot it because he was going to be open. So it was just stuff like that where you could count on things during the course of the game through the adversity where – we found a way to win. We had some tight games. We were down in some games. We could come back. It was that close-knitness, I think, that made a difference.
It's interesting that you say that, but I'm also curious, too, because you remember the camaraderie quite a bit 20 years later. Is there anything else about this team, this championship game, all the memories that you have? Because a lot of times we ask players when they're in the middle of it, how do you feel? And we kind of asked Andre Hudson if it changes for you at all 20 years later, and he said, no, it's about the same. Do you feel that way?
Yeah. I think even after it happened, I remember it being just really surreal. Like you train so hard for so long that it's kind of expected. And I think that when we won it, obviously there was elation, but at the same time it was expected. And so now it's funny talking to these guys like now, it's like, do you watch sports now? Not really. I might turn ESPN every once in a while, or I'll catch a football game, but I mean, I don't live and die by sports, and I think it's a little different just because we went through it. Mm-hmm. But it's more of an expectation, I think. I don't look at it as it's like, yeah, we did that. But I think it was expected. So, yeah, it's special. I mean, don't get me wrong, but at the same time, it's maybe a little different from our eyes versus an ecstatic fan or somebody like that doesn't have that perspective of the grind that you go through to try and achieve that. So I always tell people, that one's for us. It's, for this group when you get together, yep, we did that, and it's different maybe than for some other people.
Last question, we'll get you out of here so you can go back and enjoy the rest of the day. But you talk about the grind, and that's something that hasn't really changed because you still have head coach Tom Izzo here as he's in his 25th season. Is there anything, as you take a look now 2 decades from when you guys won that championship, that sticks out to you where you say, wow, our program was here when we first got there.
Yeah.
We go to 3 Final Fours, win a championship, and look at what this program has become.
Yeah. I talk about this too. My freshman year was Coach Izzo's second year as a head coach, and he was still trying to make a name for himself and cement himself into the program. And once that snowball started rolling, it rolled. I mean, when you come through the Breslin and see all the things that they have now, the auxiliary gym practice facilities, the coaches' facilities, the weight room facilities. I mean, a lot of that stuff comes from personal donation and booster support and those types of things. And it's when you have the visibility and the success, those things are a little easier maybe. But it's all about paying it forward, right? I mean, yeah, we got it started, but now we're back here, participating in something like this. And I mean, these are all world-class facilities. You look at the football stadium, what they're doing to Munn right now. You look at the basketball stadium. I mean, this is a world-class athletic and academic institution when it comes to those things. Somebody comes in here and wants to come here, they're going, wow, this is a neat place to be. So, I think anything that's being done now is really just to continue that and enhance that legacy. And I'm excited. The campus looks different. The facilities look different, but it's neat. Every time you come back here, there's a constant world of change for the positive.
2000 national champion A.J. Granger. We want to thank you so much for spending some time with us.
Thank you.
All right. And thank you for all of you for tuning in and joining us.